Welcome to the Soldier Athlete Farmer podcast. I'm Jeff Strong, and this is a podcast for men who want to become strong in body, mind, and spirit. Today, we're exploring a principle that has recently shaped a lot in regards to how I think about discipline and growth and decision making. And that principle is this: choose your hard. That phrase, choose your hard, it means recognizing that life is going to be hard either way. There's no avoiding the difficulty. So the question isn't whether you'll face challenges, but which kind of hard you'll choose, right? You can choose the hard of discipline now or face the hard of regret later. Both paths are difficult, but one helps you advance in your life and in your character development, while the other holds you back. So the first thing I want to say about this principle is that it helps you understand that every decision is a choice between two kinds of hard. And this principle applies to daily decisions, not just these big life-altering moments like what school do I go to, who should I marry, what should I do with my life. You're already choosing your hard, you just may not be doing it intentionally. Right? Waking up early to exercise is hard, but so is feeling weak and tired all the time. Having the difficult conversation within your friendship or your marriage, that's hard, but so is watching the distance and disconnection between you grow. Staying consistent in prayer and scripture is hard, and so is drifting until God feels distant. A soldier trains and endures now to win the battle later. An athlete disciplines his body now to compete well later, and a farmer works the land now, trusting that a later harvest will come. And each of them chooses the hard that builds potential for a better future, rather than the hard that undermines it. The second thing I want to draw your attention to is, Jesus called this decision the choice between the narrow gate and the wide gate. Jesus never promises an easy path. Instead, he says, you're just going to have to choose between two hard paths. He says, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, but small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. That narrow path, God's way, the way of Jesus, that demands submission and discipline and going against usually the general zeitgeist of the culture around us. That's hard now, but it's a road that leads to life. And that broad path, it feels very easy now. We can just kind of lean into our impulses and our temperaments and whatever kind of seems right in our own eyes. We can embrace whatever the cultural narratives are unreflectively and just kind of go with the flow. But that leads to destruction later, both in this life and the life to come. The third thing I want to draw your attention to is that this principle has helped me think more deeply about what it means to make my choices intentional. Sometimes I'm tempted to think that I'm not choosing as I sort of drift through days on autopilot. Maybe I'm sleepwalking through these kind of small habitual decisions, hitting the snooze button, just avoiding that difficult conversation today, scrolling instead of reading, putting off hard work. And maybe I tell myself, hey, I'm just getting by. I'm not really deciding anything yet. I'm just kind of coasting. But here's the truth, is that kind of coasting, that drifting is choosing, right? Every time I sleepwalk through a decision, I'm basically choosing easy now, hard later. And the question this principle forces us to ask is this really what I want to choose intentionally and wholeheartedly? Scripture reminds us, this day I call heaven and earth as witnesses. God says to his people in Deuteronomy 30, I have set before you life and death, blessing and curses. Now choose life. And every day we're choosing between the heart of discipline or the heart of regret, the heart of growth or the heart of stagnation, the heart of facing truth or the heart of living within a lie. And when you recognize that your drifting or your ambivalence are actually choices, it gives you an opportunity to reclaim your own agency, right? We're not powerless. We can decide which hard we're going to embrace. That's the beauty of free will given by God. And we can embrace that choice fully. And last thing, this principle helps me to kind of reckon with the fact that there is no easy road in life, right? If you do what's hard now, life will get easier. It doesn't get easy, but it will get easier. But if you do what's easy now, life's going to get harder. And avoidance multiplies the pain that we're trying to dodge. Hebrews 12:11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it's painful. But later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." The elite soldier doesn't play around during combat training. The great athlete doesn't coast through their practices and their drills. The wise farmer doesn't skip out on the hard work and still expect a crop and a harvest months later. The soldier and the athlete and the farmer choose the immediate hard. They choose hard now because they know it will lead to easier victories later. Wrapping things up, I want to say that the hard of discipline weighs ounces, but the hard of regret weighs tons. And you can't avoid the hard. You're already choosing something. And so the question is your hard making you stronger or leaving you weaker? Is the hard you're choosing making you stronger or leaving you weaker? Is it leading you toward the life God designed for you or pulling you away from it? Life is hard either way, but the good news is we get to choose our hard. So my encouragement to you is choose the hard that builds, that increases potential, that's going to open up opportunities tomorrow and the week after, and the month after, and the year after. Choose the hard, narrow path that leads to life and strength and purpose.